everyone, and welcome back to the United Star. Today, we're doing another Champions League preview with the Detroit Red Devils. We've got Warren, Josh, and Alex here. It's a full house. We are excited for this game because this game could take us one step closer to the next round of the Champions League, and that's where we want to be. So let's get straight into it. Let me bring Alex in first and ask him, Alex, what do you make of our current form? It's sort of a roller coaster or a pendulum. It swings from good to bad. We don't know where we're going. So how do you assess a team like Manchester United right now?
Sure. And Vishesh, Prashant, thank you so much for having us. We're super excited to be here and to partner with you guys. Like, where do you even start? We are like consistently inconsistent. You know, like it's no longer a surprise when we struggle against smaller teams, and then it's no longer a surprise when we play well against bigger teams. I feel like we can dig really deep when we're playing a top team. We saw that against Leipzig. We saw that against PSG. We saw that against Everton away, one of the hardest places to go in the Premier League, Goodison Park. Then I see us, playing West Brom and struggling through with a penalty. So just very inconsistent. It's always interesting though, because even though we are inconsistent, we're still, in a decent position, which is kind of scary, because it's like if we were just a little bit more consistent, like where would we be? So I don't know, man. It's tough. Every single game I feel super confident, and then we get 20 minutes in, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This isn't good. So inconsistent, I think, is the word I'd use.
Right. Warren, I'd want to come to you with this. Alec, he's mentioned two of the biggest problems we have: playing at home and playing against small teams. Now, when you put these two problems together, you get Istanbul, Basaksehir. So how would you approach this game, considering Demba essentially ripped us apart in the last game? So how is this game at home?
I think the biggest thing that we have to do is we have to be confident. It's suddenly like what Alex was saying, we start off fast. Some of the goals the last time, no, there is way too much of, it almost feels like we should be able to say that there is no cohesion in our team. But then, like how Alex put it, suddenly everything goes well. Everton game, we were one down, and then suddenly we turn on the jets and fire away. It's always the Fergie time, 70 minutes on. The moment the subs start, then we start up. Otherwise, the game that we should not talk about, the Spurs game, we started off really well, and then the air's out of the tank and gone. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to do more. Like, he needs to start Van der Beek, at least that's in my opinion. Cavani should start probably. Telles, don't know. But again, like I said, the cohesion is missing. It's going to be very interesting, and especially I'm hoping that we learn from our previous game, because that is probably the best way that we can do. But again, with the travel, when we get there, barring any unforeseen circumstances, it's always going to be up in the air. It's a coin toss, literally.
Right. Josh, this is where I want to come to you. We lost the last game against Basaksehir, which we all were so confident. When the groups came out, there was like two games we will win in this group were against Istanbul, Basaksehir, and the rest of the games we weren't sure of. Now we've gone and won the other two games, and we've lost to Basaksehir, which possibly has sort of made our qualification a little more trickier. So how would you approach this game, given it's at home? How would you set up if you were the manager for this game?
It's like what Alex and Warren were saying. It just shows our inconsistency. We go and we beat Paris Saint-Germain. We beat Leipzig, the two favorites in the group, and then we Basaksehir, we just completely flatline. So we have to treat this as a must-win game. As far as setup goes, I like what we've been doing tactically wise with the 4-4-2 diamond. Donnie needs to start, and I think this would be a good game for McTominay as well.
Right. Right. That's actually an interesting thing because the 4-4-2 diamond, I think, has been the second biggest bone of contention amongst Manchester United fans this season after whether Dean Henderson or David De Gea should have been in goal. At least one debate has been settled that David De Gea definitely starts now. But Vishesh, I want to come to you with this. The 4-4-2 diamond, do you think we should start with that against Basaksehir? Because we do need some more attacking flair. At times we're too defensive. We sit and we're not able to get that creative sort of thing going. So do you agree with Josh in a 4-4-2 diamond against Basaksehir?
Not personally. Personally, I would go back to our basic 4-2-3-1, what's been working since Ole has been given the job, and continue that way. I think our team has kind of settled into that formation, and the 4-4-2 just worked against Leipzig, and we got lucky. I didn't really see us doing well against Chelsea or Arsenal in that formation. So I think we need to go back to the 4-2-3-1. But just touching upon the home and away part that we're talking about, I think the best game we've played this season was against Leipzig at home. So I don't think home and away is that big an issue, because when it matters how the players turn up. I just think the players aren't turning up that often. And whenever the manager is being pressurized, that's when the players are turning up. Like whenever Ole's job is on the line, that's when the players are turning up. So I think Ole's job will be on the line for this game.
Right. I think that's another interesting point you raised that we did win against Leipzig 5-0 at home. So I think it's a bit unfair on my part to say that we don't do well at home. But then again, there is a West Brom result which backs up exactly what I say. So I think again, it's this back and forth as Manchester United fans we've become used to now. But Josh, Vishesh said he would rather prefer a 4-2-3-1. You said you'd prefer a sort of a diamond. But what would be your ideal midfield? Would you give Bruno Fernandes a rest for this one and start Donny in the number 10 position? Or would you play both of them together? How would you go about this?
No, I play them both together. No, Bruno in the 10, and then have Donny right behind him, and hopefully Pogba will be back, and then have McTominay in the holding spot.
Right, right. I think that would be a very strong midfield in terms of getting the creativity going. But Alex, this is what I want to come to you and ask you about. Uh, the problem is that Martial has not been scoring the goals this season. So do you drop Martial because it won't be a rest for him? You'd be dropping him at this point. Would you drop Martial to start with and start Edinson Cavani instead? So what would be your ideal front three? And do you agree with sort of Josh's back four? Midfield four.
No, I wouldn't drop Martial. The reason why I wouldn't is I think some of the inconsistencies we've seen from Tony is that 3-game ban, right? And that 3-game ban came at a really, really bad time. You know, if you look at a player like Martial, Harry Kane, Jesus, these are the type of players, Calvert-Lewin, they need runs in the team. They need runs in the team to build their confidence. We don't know if Martial would have scored in those 3 games. I mean, he's on number 9, so there's a good chance he would have. And I think it's really, really critical that strikers have confidence. And I just think he needs a run in the team. So I would play Martial. I like Van der Beek, sometimes playing that wing forward space like he did against Leipzig. I think I want to see more of Cavani. Definitely do want to see more of Cavani. But I think this game is important. And I think we need to still start Martial and get him a string of games. Hopefully he stays away from injuries. Obviously, I doubt he's going to get another red card. But strikers like that, they need to play 5, 6, 7 games in a row.
Right. Yeah, I think you've raised an interesting point and a very valid point that Anthony Martial is a confidence player. Once he starts scoring, he rarely does stop. So I think yeah, if he gets a couple of goals against Istanbul and then he can take that form into the Premier League, I think it'd be a nice thing for United going into the league because we do have that game in hand. But coming back to the Champions League, Warren, what would your ideal defense sort of look like? So we've settled on some sort of a midfield. We've settled on Martial starting. What would your defense and your sort of pairings on the left and right for Martial look like?
That is another big thing. Wan Bissaka for sure. Maguire is hopefully yes. Between Matic and Lindelof, it's always a toss-up again for me. So we could do that. what are our other options? I mean, Shaw is out for a while, so we can probably get
So would you
Williams
start
in.
Telles or Williams then?
I want Telles to start
Yeah, same.
because
Right.
the confidence is what we are talking about, and both Alex and Josh and even Vishesh was talking about the same thing. We need our signings to be out there. They have to start. Yes, start Tony for sure. Bring Cavani in later. That's also fine. Start Telles. Bring Williams in later on. That's also fine. Everybody needs more game time. Yes, Donny for sure has to start because it's gonna be of no use. We spent so much money and he's not doing. And there are times when when he has started, so not started, even when he has been come on as a sub, he has some brilliant moves.
Hmm.
His sight, the way he plays, the way he can handle the game, he's a very good supplement to Bruno. Now,
Mhm.
defense is the back four is good at the moment, but again, like I said before, we fall asleep like that. We press too high, we don't come back. So again, it is going to be back to basics. And I think though back four should be good, I'll be very surprised if we go with a back three.
Right. Yeah.
That would be a big thing, but it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going with a back three at home to Istanbul Basaksehir, there is very little hope that we'll be able to play any sort of attacking football with the ball in our possession because that's been our problem. Vishesh, let me
Yeah.
come to you for the most important question. I mean, I did say that the De Gea Henderson debate is settled, but Henderson did get a run out last time we faced Basaksehir. Do you see that continuing, or does Ole view this game as a must win game that if we win this, we're almost guaranteed qualification and he goes back to his number one keeper?
I think Dino will start this game for the simple reason. I think when the Champions League groups came out, I guess they had like a goalkeeper meeting, and it was made very clear that David De Gea will play against PSG and Leipzig, and Dino will play in the smaller cup games because you have to give him time, right? He is a proved goalkeeper. So I would definitely play Dino in this game and give him that game time and experience that he deserves. And just to touch upon the points that Alex and Warren and Josh have made, which are pretty reasonable. Personally, I think Cavani would start this game because of the physicality that's there in Istanbul side and the defense that's there. So if Tellez is on as a left back, the balls that he'd supply, I think Cavani can get the head on those balls rather than Martial. So I think Martial may just be given the rest for this game. But yeah, I completely agree. A striker like Martial needs the game time because we could see the frustration on his face when he was missing those chances against West Brom.
Right. I mean, of course, you said Istanbul are very physical. I mean, they have a 39-year-old Martin Skrtel in their defense. So I don't know how true that is. We could exploit them on pace as well, I think. But I think you make an interesting point on Henderson because I have a sneaky feeling that De Gea might make a comeback in this game because Ole suddenly realizes the importance of this game because the next two games are hard. Make no two ways about it. PSG and Leipzig are out there to get revenge. And that brings me to my final sort of question that for Alex, I want to ask you is how important is this game? How crucial is this for us going forward in the Champions League? And how crucial do you think we can actually top this group if we win this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the table, we have put ourselves in a really good position because of that Leipzig win. You know, we got lucky in that everybody has lost games in this group, and so we have lost one game, but we are still top. And I think our goal difference is going to be the reason why we qualify first. I mean, if you look at Leipzig, they have a -2 goal difference. You look at PSG, they have a 0 goal difference. We have a +5 goal difference. So even a win puts us, if we win 1-0, that puts us at a +6. I think that the way, the fashion in which we beat Leipzig is the reason I think we can still win this group. That goal difference is going to prove huge. I could see somebody finishing on the same points as us, but with that inferior goal difference. So I think because we won so big, it allowed us to falter once, but only once. I think we do have at least need to draw this game, but a win would be huge.
Right, right. Josh, I want to come to you. I want to get your predictions as well. But before you tell me what your predictions are, I want to ask you. We have 9 points remaining in the Champions League. How many points do you think we can realistically get? And what is your prediction for the game against Istanbul?
Out of 9, I think we can realistically look at 7. I think we can beat Leipzig again, and no, the finale against Paris. Not sure. I mean, I'm looking at a draw at best. But prediction wise, I think 2-1 United on Tuesday.
2-1 United. Warren, I'm going to ask you a slightly different question. What's your prediction, and who do you think is going to be man of the match for Man United?
I think we could probably go with a 3-1. We win. And man of the match is going to be. It's a toss-up. Depends if like Josh was saying, if Bruno starts or Pogba is there, I would want Bruno to be the man of the match. But if Donny van de Beek starts and if he has a very good game, I won't be surprised if he takes it, because he had, like I've been saying, he has a lot of potential. I've seen some of his games before. The guy has the vision, and I hope he does. But otherwise, it's going to be Bruno again, a penalty.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Warren, nowadays Bruno winning man of the match is not, it's become a necessity for Manchester United to win a game. So he's been carrying the team like on his
But
shoulders since the
would
day.
you ideally want him on penalty duty with him missing the first one always and scoring the second?
That's the entertainment value for us.
I love his confidence. I love
Yeah,
that he steps up and takes it again. And if you think about the two that he missed, part of the reason he missed them was because the goalkeeper was a foot off the line. I mean, if you look at the physics of like the success rate that comes, the increase in success rate when a keeper steps forward, were they his best penalties? No, they were not his best penalties, but they were retaken for a reason,
Yeah. The angle gets cut down for sure, and it becomes easier to save. There's no question of that. So, Alex, who do you think is going to score for us then? And do you think we're going to score, first of all? What's your prediction? And if yes, who do you think is going to get the goals?
Well, when I look at our first game, it wasn't our best game at all. But I think the issue we had is we didn't respect them enough. We went there, thought, yeah, this is going to be a win. And if we look at Bar's goal, we know that doesn't happen often, but we just switched off. And I think we will have Fred or McTominay playing that role to make sure we don't switch off and make sure we sweep up. I see us winning this. I think we can win this with a clean sheet. I think Henderson will play too. Again, as to Vishesh's point, he's a proven goalkeeper. It's not like you're putting he's not a second goalkeeper. He can play first team. He just happens to be our second goalkeeper. I think Cavani or Martial, whoever starts in that spot, I see them scoring. I see us being very creative. And I think the loss was good for us. I think it's going to teach us some humility and make sure we don't go into this game doing the same mistake. So I think we win like 1 or 2-0. And I think we'll see goals from Cavani or Martial.
Vishesh, your predictions finally?
I'm going to go for a 5-0 victory. We're going to thrash them out of the park. They deserve it.
Okay.
I like that.
They deserve it. I mean, we need the confidence, and I think, as Alex said, right, we took them lightly. We actually played as if we were playing kids, and we saw the first goal, right? We had no one back.
No, which you mean we actually played like we were playing? You mean we are actually playing players that we played like they were old age retirement players, every one of them.
So yeah, I think this time it's going to be way more serious from the players and Ole, and I think they'll go all guns out blazing. So 5-0 with Martial to score a hat trick. So Alex is happy with the form
then. I think Vishesh is a little too optimistic. I'm just going to make a final call on some of the questions I asked. So firstly, I think Josh, 7 points out of 9, you'd see me dancing on the streets of Mumbai. I think realistically we're going to get 4 points out of 9. We beat Basaksehir, we get a draw against Leipzig, and we lose to PSG. is the way I look at where things are going. And I agree with Alex. With our superior goal difference, we'll top the group with those with about 10 points. I think that will be enough for us to top the group. That's the way I see things going. My scoreline is sort of between 1-0 and 5-0. It's somewhere like a 3-0 for Man United. I think 5-0 if it happens again on the streets of Mumbai, but I don't see it happening. 5-0 is just too much. I see if they're winning 3-0, I think Ole will take the players off, give them a rest. So I think a 3-0 is what I see realistically, which will happen. And I actually think Marcus Rashford might be key. I don't think we've mentioned him at all in the conversation today. And that is something that doesn't happen often. And that in itself means that he needs to prove himself once again. I guess a little. He's been a little inconsistent this season, so a goal or two from Rashford won't hurt us at all. So yeah, that's what I think. The questions I asked her, it's only fair I answer them. Any closing thoughts, guys? Any closing thoughts that you all want? You all think important that we might have missed out on?
I guess the final thing I would say is just kind of looking at the fixtures. We could come into that time where it starts getting really busy as we get closer towards Christmas. Between now and the end of the year, I think we have something like 12 games in 6 weeks, which is a lot of games. So I really want to see more Van der Beek, more Tellus. I'd love to see James get some play time. I don't think he can start, but I just think it's really important that we rotate because we are getting to the busy season. And again, Prashant and Vishesh, thank you so much for having us here.
No, I think it was our pleasure. I think this was a great conversation. So, guys, you've heard what we think. Let us know what you all think in the comments. Go and give the Red Devils Detroit a shout out. Their Instagram is in the description. Go check out the work they do. Give them a subscribe on Instagram as well. So, subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with the review to see how well our predictions have turned out. And thank you guys for joining us. Hope to see you all soon. And hopefully we'll win this game and build some confidence. 3 games in a row to win would be nice. So thank you for watching and bye-bye.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our video. If you do like it, please click on the thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell icon to get daily notifications from the United Star. Follow us on Instagram at the.UnitedStar and we will see you soon.